Hi, I'm Clay with CPAP My Way and CPAPMyWay.com. Today we want to introduce you to the top 3 cleaning products that are out on the market. We get questions about these all the time, so we wanted you to have an understanding of what they look like, what they do, and hopefully you can make a good decision for yourself. First and foremost, they are awesome. They definitely make your life a lot easier, so if you're scrubbing your mask every day to keep it sterile, you're definitely going to want to look into these and see if it's a good fit for you. So, what we have here is the Lumen, the VirtuCLEAN, and the SoClean. Both the VirtuCLEAN and the SoClean use ozone or ionized oxygen. The Lumen uses UV light to sterilize. So very different operations as far as how it works. And you'll see some pros and cons to that as we run through it here. So what I'll do is I'll get a CPAP out so we can look at it, each of them side by side with the CPAP. We'll start here with the Lumen. The Lumen, as I said, is UV light only. And so it will only kill what the light can touch. So it's got a little drawer here that pulls out. It is a mirrored drawer. So what you would do with, for instance, your CPAP mask is set it right in there, and then you can grab your humidifier chamber, of course, and set it in there as well as any other household appliance for that matter. Shut it, press and hold to turn it on. It'll run through a cycle very quickly. It doesn't take quite as long as the ozone products because it's not blowing off the ozone afterwards. It is just done once it's done. So just a few minutes on that one. When it's done, obviously, right away you can pull it out and use it. No big deal at all. Hook everything back up just like normal. So the upsides to it, there's absolutely no ozone smell. We hear that every now and then. It's definitely not a big deal to most people, but every now and then we get a person that's very perceptive and kind of smells that ozone smell. It has none of that, obviously. It's done very, very quickly, and it's really more of a household appliance. You can use it on more than just your CPAP equipment because it's not specifically designed to just do CPAP. So kind of a cool product. Downside, it does take up a good bit of space, and it doesn't do a good job on the tubing because obviously the UV light doesn't penetrate the inside of the tube. So they're coming out with the UV bullet soon, the Lumen bullet, and it'll do the inside of the tube, which will kind of round out the Lumen process. Next, we'll take a look at the VirtuCLEAN. This is the VirtuCLEAN. Obviously, you can see it's a very small unit. It's a little more travel friendly. It's got a built-in lithium-ion battery, so you can plug it in, obviously, and charge it. It'll go about 7 uses on a single charge, but it does have a standard micro USB port to leave it plugged in if you want, or charge it as needed. It is a pretty simple device, so let me show you how to do it real quick. To sterilize your equipment on this, you just pull your tube loose from the back of the CPAP, connect it onto the VirtuCLEAN, drop your mask into the sterile bag that comes with it. The new sterile bags look a little bit different than this, they're a little bigger. And then you press and hold the button to turn it on. It's not connected to power, as you can see it's running right now actually. It'll run ozone through the tube into the masks around the mask, killing 99.9% of everything. It'll run through, I think it's about a 30-minute process, but it does it by itself and shuts itself off. You don't have to worry about monitoring it. I'm going to manually press and hold to turn it off for the sake of demonstration here. So if you wanted to, obviously that cleans the tubing in the mask. If you wanted to clean the machine, you do the exact same thing, just in reverse. Take your mask tube loose, plug it onto the VirtuCLEAN, press and hold to turn it on. It'll kill everything inside the tubing and the machine itself. It runs through the cycle on its own and turns itself off. I'm going to turn that off manually. Upside to this is it is very, very small and easy to travel with. Downside is that it won't do everything at one time. You definitely have to, do the machine when you want to do the machine, and the tube in the mask when you want to do the tube and mask. Other thing you've got to keep in mind is that this little connection point is recessed in there, so if you've got a heated tube, you'll need an adapter like this to be able to get your heated tube on there correctly. But it is very portable, very user-friendly, and it works very, very effectively. The last one is the SoClean, which is the one everybody has heard a lot about. It is everywhere, right? It is a really user-friendly machine as well. In fact, it's kind of the most set it and forget it of all of them, because once you've tied it in with your CPAP, it does it all at one time. So what you would do on this is you've got a standard adapter, because we've got a standard tube. They plug together just like that, and it hooks onto the end of your, or in between your tubing and your CPAP. And then you just drop your mask in top of the SoClean reservoir. Press and hold the on button here, the manual button, and it turns the machine on. Runs through a cycle. It actually takes a couple hours to run through the entire cycle, and it'll give you a green light when it's ready to rock and roll, red light while it's running, and so you know not to open it. But it is a simple device. Once you've got it set up beside your CPAP like this, you literally just drop your mask in, turn it on. You can even preset it to run automatically at 11 o'clock while you're at work or something, to take care of your machine while you're not there. Only downside is that it's a little big as far as nightstand real estate goes. It's going to take up a little bit more room. It is not travel friendly at all. It does require being plugged in, and it is tied in permanently unless you actually manually remove it from your CPAP. So all in all, it's probably the most set it and forget it part, but it does take up a little bit more room, and you do have to consider that. It also is to be used really on one machine unless you wanted to disconnect it and put it on there. So we have a lot of husband and wives that end up buying two of them for that purpose. But anyway, that's our run through on it. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel here, and visit us online at cpapmyway.com. Thanks for watching.